Alright, good evening, people. Welcome to another vlog. So, in my previous video, I talk about stereotypes when it comes to Jamaicans. Part of that video was we deal with the subject of Jamaican men actually cheat, right? So, this is part two on the video. I am continuing today. Before I even continue on does Jamaican men cheat, when I did the previous video, YouTube flagged my video and said, "Hear what? This is age restricted. Lower my views," so I had to appeal it, and YouTube grant the appeal and so alright, free up the video, no longer age restricted, and that is how the video actually getting some views now. So tonight I have my brother here with me, Sir Charles. So Charles, bless up the people them now.
Good evening, guys. Much blessings from all over the world. Wherever you are, I'm here from Jamaica. Much blessings.
Alright. You hear the man say? The man say, "I am here from Jamaica." Alright, so he's a Jamaican. I am a Jamaican. So for a person who will, because we understand media land is local and it is international. Right? So when person hear the subject of Jamaican, like, you're not qualified to speak about it, to speak about Jamaican men. Listen, I am a Jamaican man. Sir Charles is a Jamaican, right? So we are qualified to speak about our own nation. This is no way, shape, or form of any discrimination. I have to say this because I don't want YouTube to flag this video to say it's age restricted. So YouTube, hear what? We are Jamaican men talking about our own country. Likewise, those on Meadowland, we are Jamaicans discussing our own country. So, Sir Charles, when it comes to Jamaicans men, right? Do you think Jamaican men are faithful? My wife over there, be a teacher, sure enough. Go ahead, Sir Charles.
The minority of Jamaican men are faithful.
And what does the minority looks like?
Why the percentage kind of maga? So
Alright, some people don't know what the word maga mean. Can you actually go?
The percentage is very small.
Small. And how much out of 10 is that?
Out of 10, I would say maybe 1.5 the most.
1.5 the most.
Right.
That's bad.
It is.
No.
It is bad.
So you don't think Jamaicans by nature, the men, are actually faithful?
Not necessarily by nature, because alright, if you look at it, we
Uh-huh.
are basically from a West African nature, right?
Eh.
Culture. We
Yeah.
are from West Africa. If you look at the African culture, you realize that it's a very polygamous culture.
Yeah.
Those men believe that they should have multiple wives, and nothing is wrong with it. That's in their perception, right? So based on the fact that we are from that kind of background, it's genetically as well, we believe we're of the notion, and it's also in our innate tendency to just want multiple women. We don't want to settle down with one woman. And Jamaicans always say they call a man who is faithful a one burner. So Jamaican don't believe in being a one burner. They want to have multiple women.
So when the songwriter say me have enough girl in a bongo, girl from Rima, girl from jungle, right? And then you have one say have a chill load of girl. Right. So basically you're saying that expose the mentality of Jamaicans men. But not only that, historically, based on where we're coming from, West Africa, it's a norm for one man to have multiple women. Not just multiple women, multiple wives. So you're saying that is why it's a traditional thing when it comes to Jamaican men, they can't settle with one woman, right?
Right.
So,
So,
go
right,
ahead.
go ahead.
So, no, growing up as a Jamaican man, right? As a Jamaican man, right? In your teens, coming into adulthood, etc., what was the expectation laid on you by society when it comes to either you go single in one faithful relationship or you go poly? What was the mindset created by you, the environment, society, friends, family, etc.? What was the thing placed on you from teenage to early
Actually,
adulthood?
actually, it was a mixed environment because you have friends which are your peers in school, people you socialize with. They were like, yo, man, a gallus. They like multiple women, like a lot of girls.
Yeah,
So that kind of put on a lot of pressure on you out
yeah,
there in going to school, socializing. But the expectation based on what I would have seen in my household that it was just my mother and my father. So
yeah,
that was the part of me that wanted to just have one woman.
yeah.
But it was a struggle between the two.
It was
So,
a struggle.
here and there, right, here and there, we had multiple girlfriends
Eh,
growing up in high schools. Yes.
so from high school,
From high school.
you was a Salaman.
However, yeah, however, I had a main girlfriend,
Yeah.
right?
No,
In
wait, no.
Jamaica, we
If
call
wait,
a side
wait,
chick.
wait, wait. People, this man is saying he had multiple girlfriends. Then he had a main girlfriend. Also, he had a side chick. Go ahead, sir. Go through.
Right, so,
Yeah.
that was basically the influence from school and all of that. But, for me, in my mind, it was just, my heart couldn't be in more than one place. So, my main girlfriend was where my heart was in high school coming up. But I matriculated into adulthood.
Yeah.
I realized that it didn't really make sense at one point in time, and I just wanted to have one girlfriend. That was basically 17 plus 18 thereabout. Just
Yeah.
wanted to have one girl. So at one point in time, I was even struggling to make a decision based on trying to move on from my high school girlfriend to somebody else who I met. And trust me, I didn't want to be in a position where I had two girlfriends at the time. So I had to leave one, which was my high school girlfriend at the time,
Wow.
in order to take a
Alright.
serious relation.
Let me ask you the question now. Do you think in Jamaica, men who are considered one burner, I would say, who's a one burner? Someone who's committed to one woman. Sorry. Do you think in Jamaica, a man who is a one burner has more respect than a man who is considered a gallus? Right? A gallus is somebody who is seen with multiple women, have multiple partner, main chick, side chick, breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, and going to bed, still have an appetizer. Watch key over there. Be a smile, yeah, smiling at people.
I'm not smiling. I'm
Me
To be
see your
listening.
honest,
face.
it has.
My wife is there sitting and
I
she's
am
like,
listening attentively. I am not smiling.
all right, mom.
Oh, God.
Is it no one that me see her do no smile and smile?
I am not smiling, love.
Charles, let me see your face. All right, do me say.
I
So,
tell
do
you
you
one
think
thing. I tell
one
you one
burner
thing.
man has more respect in Jamaica than the man who's a gallus?
I tell you what, it has its place, and
Uh
I don't want to go and say, boy, the minority or the majority respect a girl is over one burner, but it has its place because in Jamaica, as a one burner, a man who is faithful, sometimes if you are with the wrong person, the wrong woman, with the wrong mindset, they might see you as soft and weak because the women here in Jamaica, because of the culture, they are used to you cheating. And if they end up getting a faithful man, they say, no, this is too good to be true. They are always suspicious and always trying to search your phone and make problems because they're not used to that kind of life,
huh.
right?
Yeah.
But when it comes on to the more responsible aspect of Jamaicans, persons who are grounded in Christianity and such alike, those persons it's the norm for them to actually be faithful. Not saying everybody who are
Yeah,
Christians are faithful, but that's a general concept of what Christianity should be based on the lifestyle. So it's a mixed environment, but it has its place. Some one burner get respect, some girls get respect.
yeah, but if you bring both into the light before the public, the entire Jamaica, which one I think will actually come out on top with higher ratings, higher level of respect?
Funny enough, and it's sad. The man who is a gallus will get more respect
And why is that?
by the general populace because it's a mindset of Jamaicans.
Yeah. So do you think that some level of toxicity that we as Jamaican would need to some level of reformation and when it comes to this one burner mindset?
Yes, I believe that it is a pandemic. It's a
Yeah.
disease, a mental disease. It's very immoral.
Yeah.
It's a moral decay of our population where I think that people really need to get away from that mindset.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what about the women that support it? Because when I was young, I heard a woman said, "I, I have, I have no problem with my partner going out and having sex. In fact, whenever he's going out, I ensure that he has a condom." So what about those women who actually, in a relationship, support it, endorse that men must have multiple partners. So how do we address such a situation? Though it's not just a man endorsing it now, but the very woman, endorsing it. How do we address such?
I strongly believe that those women are not necessarily endorsing it. They just basically are going with the flow, and they are actually just coming to acceptance that hey, this man is going to cheat. So if he's going to cheat, I'm going to try to ensure that he use protection.
Yeah.
So I think that is the mindset that the woman accept it and not just support it because most women want to settle down. They want to have family. They want to because heartbreak is a terrible thing, and most women cannot handle, a man having more than one woman or one partner. So it's not a matter of supporting. I think it's more acceptance.
Got you. All right. I remember when I was working as a security officer at Bayer, Principal Hotel. I was on the ground floor working the first floor. The next security officer is working floor 2 to 3, and the next officer is working from 4 up. So me being on the first floor, the security officer came down there. I was like, yo, bro, I need a call. I'm like, okay, no problem, but here's a call, right? When I gave the guy the call, Charles, I always heard about Joe Grind. And for the people them Charles who do not know who is Joe Grind, Charles, who is a Joe Grind, Charles?
Alright, so Joe Grind is a man who's actually interfering with another man's woman.
All right.
And oftentimes, this person will know everything about you. He will know your hours and where you work, where you work, what you drive, if you drive, if you
Yeah.
walk, whatever. All of those information that man will know. They also call it matey in Jamaica.
Yeah.
But that man, the Joe Grind is just serve one purpose, and that is mostly for sexual purpose.
Sexual purpose. All right.
Yeah.
So the guy came back down with the phone, Charles, and the guy upset, and the man got wrathful, bro. You see it? And I'm like, yo, bro, what's up? What's the issue? Bro said to me, you know what just happened? I called at home, and someone told me they saw my partner and backers with doggy style, with a scammer. So you know in Jamaica scamming is big. Scammer them drive the Mark X, the Crown, X6, BMW, the Mercedes, Benz, the Lexus, all of these vehicles. You know?
Leave out the
Yeah.
X, yeah, and
So
the
so the so as a security officer, when you're security, as you say, the Joe grind know the hours. So once his duty begin at 7 p.m. in the evening, once he start that duty, no matter what take place, he ain't leaving until 7 in the morning. So when he came and pick up his duty, the duty that he left at home, someone
another man is dead.
someone started his shift. I'm telling you, bro. Yes, when the guy told me, Charles, me always a person talk about Joe grind experience, but I never get to see it for myself. And Charles, when he might tell me what go on, right, when he told me what was happening, bro, I wanted to laugh. But guess what, Charles? I could not laugh because if I laugh, I know the guy will give me one slap, Charles, and probably my 32 teeth would be on the floor. So guess what? He laughed up on my chest in a Charles, and it a come on me. Me have to hold me. I have to be holding my mouth. So guess what? Yes, when the boss went back upstairs, bro, and that's when I let out the laugh. So a statistic came out recently and said about 70% of Jamaicans, right, are jacket. So right there we are sure say here Jamaican men does cheat, right? So but what about those women who 70%, Charles? That's bad. Jacket, you can't imagine that at least 70.
But listen,
Mm-hmm.
those are the confirmed numbers. What about a lot of persons who have not done any DNA test?
That's what I was telling Kay recently. So if you check the Highland of Jamaica, a lot of us we don't have the right father. That's not a lie. It is what is stated by the government of Jamaica, and that's a serious issue. We have a father crisis in Jamaica, whereby it's not just fathers neglecting son, but a crisis where men who are not. You can't imagine, Charles. Them say fathers they are come up. Somebody's on the Gelding truck. And if somebody celebrating that they are off the Gelding truck, not knowing, Charles, they are the they are the CEO, the supervisor, and then a next man that thinks is off is on the Gelding truck is not actually on it. Is off.
But you doesn't know. Right.
So a lot of men who will be celebrating that they are half the Gelding truck. one DNA test, Charles. and Father's Day. When the rubbish truck name in Jamaica again, NWA.
Oh gosh, NSWM. Oh gosh, I can't remember.
Well, yeah, man. You see when Father's Day, a lot of the man them have Jackie Charles. If we have some DNA tests walking around with, we'll have to pick them up straight back in the truck. We'll have to be like, John, sorry, you're not off the truck. Because the 3 kids you receive, none of them is yours.
Oh, good God.
But guess what? if Jamaica should start mandatory DNA testing throughout the country, Charles, a chaos.
It will be. I believe so strongly.
A chaos. But do you believe, Sir Charles, in all fairness,
Yeah.
starting onwards, once a child is born, DNA testing should involve before the father name can be signed off on the child?
I strongly believe that it should be done from the child is born.
Okay.
Right before he signs on any documentation before his name go on that birth certificate. I
What,
believe that they should do a DNA test.
what do you think about that, Kay?
100% agree.
Kay said she 100% agree.
Yeah, man, it's important because at the end of the day, the child
Yeah.
know come and know the right father, even if the right father don't own up to the responsibility.
Yeah.
At least you don't damage a child by having them spending years with the wrong person and then they find out at some point in time. Because you see this happen in the past, sorry. A lot of times where persons go overseas and decide to boy, I'm going to file for my child.
Yeah.
When they file for the child, they realize that it's not their child. And they would have already spent maybe 12, 15 years with that child already. The only person that person know as a father is you.
Yeah.
Right? And then you file for that child now, you realize your whole world crumble, your whole world fall apart because you have developed this bond with the child and it's not your child.
That's crazy, man.
So how do you deal with that? For me personally, I would still father the child. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter what. I would adopt the child and still allow the child to, probably if we can allow the child to meet the father, the right father, somewhere down the line, we can do that. But
Yeah.
I would still father the child.
Alright, so what about the women and the international scene? Because we know Jamaican men, despite of our reputation and there are certain stereotype, there's a high level demand, for Jamaican men. So speaking to women on the international scene, who are interested in having a Jamaican spouse, etc. What advice do you have to such individuals in it that they can minimize, the possibility of coming across somebody who is unfaithful? So what advice do you have to them to, at least raise their level of success that they end up with someone who is faithful? So how can you know when you meet a real Jamaican?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm understanding the question.
So the question is, right, towards person on the international scene like Canada, America, whether they're white, Indian, black, etc. They want a Jamaican spouse because Jamaican men are in high demand. What are the things they can do to prevent so they don't meet one of a certain Jamaican man that actually is a rigorous cheater, but they will actually meet someone who is of high quality and standard, etc.
Oh, understand.
So what's your advice for them?
I would advise any woman at the international level
Yeah.
to don't have the wrong motives when you're dating a Jamaican man. Because most of these women are some, let me not say most, some, they date the Jamaican men simply because of what they've heard about in the Jamaican man packing in their pants.
Yeah.
Right? And if you go for that, if you target only the sexual organ, then that's what's gonna happen. Because if you're targeting them sexually, then you get that person who is sexually inclined a certain way, then you're going to have problems because that person is going to be unfaithful in most cases. But if you target someone who has qualities, who has good personality, good character, good moral judgment, and all of these things, then it's highly unlikely for you to have those issues of him being unfaithful, because every man has a conscience. And secondly, some of the women, they are also a contributing factor for the men to cheat, because they don't know how to deal with men, they don't know how to respect men, they don't know how to treat men and all of these things. So what happens is that when that man is in a vulnerable state and then somebody comes along who seem to be a friend, offer those kind of stuff, give him something nice to eat, whatever it is that he likes, you know, and you know that person lures him in a certain way, then that person may just very well cheat.
Yeah. All right.
So
But what are
I
some
am
good
basically
signs as a one burner? You know,
right, right.
they say when you upgrade to 4 burner, you cook fast. But as a one burner, you know,
One
what are
pot,
some
one pot.
one pot? Where say just straight soup and I eat that.
Straight soup and some what you call it now? The rice there, the Caesar rice.
Yeah, Caesar rice.
Caesar
Because
rice.
yeah, so basically, what are some good healthy signs that you meet a good one burner man? We that will hold it down with
Mhm.
you know, in the relationship. What are some good signs that the man yeah, a real G and he will hold it down as a Jamaican?
Well, he has to be God fearing, first things first.
Sis?
Because no matter how good this character is and the qualities are, he has to be God fearing. Because it's only by men by nature they will see what they want. And in order for them not to heed into temptation, you have to be grounded in God. So that's the first quality. He has to be grounded in God, God fearing and all of that.
Yeah.
He has to be responsible, you know,
Uh-huh.
not just going all about having children all over the place. Not
Yeah.
saying that man cannot be restored or depending on the circumstances, but he has to be grounded. He has to be responsible.
So
he
if,
has to be mature. You understand what I mean?
yeah,
So those are some of the qualities that.
so if basically if they're going for a Jamaican man, he cannot come as Father Abraham with a dozen children.
Right. He has a track record. Worse if he's not converted.
Understand me, boss. So
Right.
people, you hear it from Church Stars himself. He said he rate Jamaican 1.5 in faithfulness. Jamaican men. That's a low ratings. Okay, what was your ratings again?
15.
Okay, what are the same percent as Charles? 15%.
How much?
15% like you. Yankee have the same number.
No, he
15
said
out of 100, yes.
1.5.
Basically the
Yeah,
same thing.
1.5. That's 15.
Right. How much would yours be, sir, as well?
Mine?
Yes.
I put it 30% and above, honestly. I believe there are a lot
Yeah.
of faithful Jamaican men, but the the they are not highlighted as these individuals who are unfaithful. But I know there's a lot of faithful Jamaican men. Yeah.
All right. To be honest, I give also my grading based off a lot of personal experience.
Yeah.
Because let me say this. Because we have to
Yeah.
be real and we have to acknowledge the facts. Most are I keep on saying most. Sorry about that.
Uh-huh.
Some Jamaican women, because if
Yeah.
you're talking about Jamaican women, you have to talk about Jamaican women just the same because maybe majority of Jamaican men has Jamaican women. So it's a culture where a lot of Jamaican women they are lacking in the respect department. And as you know, men like respect. That's one main love language of what men speak. And if a man is not getting that, he may try to stick around, but that relationship will basically go down. It may go down and he find himself cheating and a lot of other aspects of the relationship might dwindle down. And he end up cheating, not being faithful, and stuff can happen when you cheat. You can get somebody pregnant, somebody get hurt. Even if somebody does get pregnant, somebody can get hurt in the process by finding out that you were being unfaithful.
Yeah.
So we have to basically look at how our society is. We have to change the mindset. Women have to be more respectful, have to be more submissive because Jamaican women are stubborn, trust me. They're not the most submissive women.
Alright. Let me ask, in going forward as a nation, as a people, how do we look when it comes to rectifying the issues we talk about? As how how does it look to you? Well, in the short future, long term future, does it look like the level of Jamaican faithfulness in relationship will increase or decrease? What do you think?
Currently, no. I'm not really necessarily seeing that it's been increased.
Uh
I can say probably the faithfulness will basically decrease, or it will basically stabilize.
huh.
Based on the fact that we're not having the social intervention programs that are coaching people. We can just find persons who intentionally want to do counseling, churches who teach certain aspects of relationship and conflict resolution and all of these things. Because sometimes when people have problems, they just feel like the best thing to do is just go and cheat.
Yeah. So you think going forward, in the future, Jamaica will have this crisis remain?
Yeah, I think so. Strongly believe that.
Okay. But nevertheless, you do believe that Jamaican men will still be in high demand?
Yes, there still will be.
That's crazy. Yo. Alright, bro.
But seriously,
Eh.
you know that a lot of women are toxic, and once they can get, the
No,
good treatment or
I
whatever they're looking for
from
from a
high school
Jamaican man, they
days,
will.
from high school days, Charles, you have what they
Right,
call Caesar girl or season girl, right?
right.
And I don't say that as a disrespect, I just say the term, that's what's used. And basically what
Right.
is described is in school you have football season, you have cricket season. And when it's football season, it's like whoever's footballer is the pride of the school, is the glory. And those girls are season girl when it's football season. They wanna be around footballers, so they wanna be part of the pride. They wanna be part of the glory, etc. Right?
Mhm.
And due to that, bro, it's a norm to see schoolgirl, you know, when it comes to season, behave certain way, and
Right.
guys does take advantage of the season having multiple partners. And lots of the girl them they don't care.
True.
So
That's true.
even from school days, it's a thing. It's not just something which is a adult thing. And yes, Caesar girl is a universal thing. Even when you watch American movie, them always show the one that play American football drive up in this big car, him have all the girls.
Right. It's something
So
that's
so
happened prominently in college too.
in college, so it's
University,
universal.
UTEC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
speaking, personally of ourselves, to adjust this thing, I think it gotta start in the home. It's gonna start in
Mhm.
the school, and
Right.
one of the thing also, you see, sometimes, as you say, to as a Jamaican man, sometimes there's a pressure to prove yourself, you know,
Yes. Yes.
prove your sexuality and prove your worth as a man, actually having multiple partners. So one, to prove that you're not gay, you're not homosexual, right? You've got to engage with multiple partner to prove that you have
Mhm.
become a man. You have value, you have worth, and you have ability, you have developed structure. You have to have multiple partners. So I believe if, sorry, from inside the home, you know, the the male is trained to have that self value, then he will no longer allow himself to engage with any and anyone sexually, because there's a value that is on him, that he will not just allow any person to come and have sexual intercourse with him. And because of that value that he has, only a specific and a precise woman is able to, entangle and be yoked with him sexually and in a relationship. So I think a big part of it, sorry people, is due to, you know, um insecurity,
Peer
Right.
pressure.
lack of value, what do you say?
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure, right? A lack of value, And when you don't have value, you have to be going out to try to prove your point.
Right.
And actually then you find that even the life of a Geldings is not even because you want it, it's because the pressure is there and society to prove your sexuality and to prove your worth. But if you know your worth, then you don't have to be seen with 3, 4, 5, 6 different partners. So I think that's where it starts. Start in the home, um, aunts, uncle, fathers, mothers, imparting the sense of value and responsibility in the male, and that should able to enable us as a nation to have greater level of faithfulness. Yeah.
Right. I think that for the male present in the family, it doesn't have to be a father, but preferably a father. That person will be the role model for his son. And if he's one that is going out there to cheat, and it's evident, the mother and the father having problems arguing in front of the children regarding that same issue and all of that, the child will understand that this man is a polygamous person, and he will want to be like that because children live what they learn. So, I think that is also one of the main things inside the home.
Yeah, man, that's very true as well.
Right.
People, this is the end of our vlog. Yeah. Sir Charles, we are so
Yeah, man.
appreciative of having you today, sir. Looking forward for many more vlog with you.
All right. Much blessings, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, people, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Please remember my book are available on Amazon. That is The Lord Rebuke Satan and Whosoever the Son Sets Free. Those are books on deliverance, releasing the captive. Those who are ministers, senior leaders, and elders within the faith, even for believers and unbelievers who are oppressed through curses, spells, demonic yokes of witchcraft. Those books are there to release the captive, to release those who are imprisoned by spirits of darkness and those who are broken-hearted. So get those books on Amazon. That is The Lord Rebuke You, Satan, and Whosoever the Son Sets Free. Go ahead and purchase your copy. It's available on Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, UK, wherever you're in the world. It's available to you. It will be shipped to you. So once again, thanks for your support. Please to like, share, and subscribe. GG. Shout out to everyone on my that is on my stream, live blood strike stream that watches. Thank you today. For the support. Thank you for the support always. God bless you all. May God peace, grace, and mercy cover you all in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.